Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to Rise of the Republic and our little Let's Play as we are slowly working to unite all of Italy under the SAMNITEs. So things have largely been going pretty well, I would have said. Let's have a look at the strategic overview just to see how things are sort of looking. So yeah, so we conquered basically all of sort of lower Italy now. This province here is just an allied, something we're going to have to deal with at some point. Down in the south, obviously, we got embroiled in a war with the Syracusans. We got embroiled, I mean, I started it, so it's not really their fault. And we opened that campaign and managed to capture 2 of their cities down here in the first turn, in the turn of Italy. They've still got 2 more here in Italia, in this province. And then, obviously, they've got Syracuse and the rest of a whole other region down on Sicily. If I can kick them out the turn of Italy, maybe try and force a peace with them, maybe if possible, would be the easiest way for me to do it, but we shall see. We've got 3 armies functioning down here, all in pretty good strength. We didn't take too many casualties taking any of these cities, so we're all looking pretty good there. We'll keep pushing these guys through, keep applying pressure them, there's an enemy here or there, and try and take the other 2 cities in the next couple of turns, and then I think we'll be looking pretty nice. Although they have got this large fleet coming back down here, which may be kind of quite a threat to us. There's also this large fleet here, which we don't know what that's going to do, whether that's going to try and make a play for Elia in the next turn. I don't know. It does. We probably won't be able to hold, but we'll just have to do what we can. So, moving further inland, we caused ourselves a bit of problem by going to war with a central tribe around here. Maybe it was Corfinium that we actually took from them. I can't remember exactly which one it was. One of these, they were just a 1-province tribe, but they had quite a large army. We went to war with them, but I didn't face them in open battle, but I still managed to capture their territory. But now I've got 2 roaming enemy armies sort of right in the middle of my territory, and I can't really bring them to heel that easily. I've got an army up in Corfinium. These must be the ones who actually capture the settlement, which is why they're up there, suppressing the public order, because this must probably has a conquest instability. It does. But we've got our main elite army, which, while it's got a lot of experience, is actually relatively mediocre units. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts, and I'm bringing in just another freshly recruited army down here to try and intercept these guys down here before they actually make it to Bovarnium. So we don't want them to do that. So this is going to be really interesting / bad in the next turn, depending on whether they capture anywhere or not. Up to the north, everything's sort of looking okay, really. We're not in any major wars, I don't think. Funny enough, I can't really even remember. No, we're not really. So if we deal with this tribe, we're actually at peace with the Romans. Looks like the Romans are struggling, really, to be honest. Not been that successful. Looks like they've still got a lot of all the Etruscans to deal with. Partly probably because they didn't capture Companion, sort of all the rich, fertile land around here. It's kind of why they're struggling a little bit. So, I think there's not really a lot else to do this turn. The only thing I was going to do was to try and use my dignitary to see if we can have an effect on the enemy army coming down. I'll just try and bribe one of these Italian swordsmen, see if it works. Make life a little bit easier if it did. Ah! We got one of their units to disband. And we gained some rank as well. Nice. Kind of seems worthwhile, doesn't it? Unless there's anything particularly good down here. +5 loyalty to political party ruling this region when deployed. Well, we now know how that probably works. It actually could be a pretty useful ability, to be honest. Yeah. Because we can then move this guy down to Capra to come. Is this Campania? Yeah, because Campania is the one region ruled by the other ruling party, I think. Let's have a look to... yeah, Campania is the Jupiter's people, followers of Jupiter's, which are the people who are really tough for me to manage on their loyalty because they've got really bad party traits. Being Thirst for Power, which is basically a permanent -10 loyalty. Zenithar is a pretty hard one to actually make anything up because it requires all diplomatic, which I'm not very good at because I'm happy just to go to war with everyone. Expansionist is okay, but obviously it drops off really quickly. So they're going to start dropping negative loyalty again soon, so moving this guy down into Campania would be quite a good thing for us. So we'll do that next turn. But anyway, let's skip into the next turn and see how badly this goes, I think. Oh, unassigned skills. So a quick look.
My wits and words are yours.
Oh, you're down here actually already. Why don't I just give that to you then? Does that affect immediately? No. Let's see if that makes an effect next turn. Because Nepinopolis is in Campania. Are you deployed?
My wits and words are yours.
You are. What did it say? +5 loyalty to the political party ruling this region while deployed. Well, you are deployed. Let's see if that does anything. Because we've got in the province, I think we've got an edict issued to the party loyalty. Yeah, let's see next turn if that has an effect. Anyway. Oh, another one! For God's sake. You pay attention. And this army down here. Oh, just needs to do a bit of a commander upgrade. Which faction is he for? He's not a SAMNITE faction, so we don't want to give him anything extra with gravitas if we can help it. So we don't want to give him any of them. Let's just give him that. Next turn. Cool. Yeah, this is kind of, oh dear. Okay, this is not so good. Not so good at all. What's this? This is a Syracuse army. Where the hell did they come from? Where am I? That's... Ah, this must be one of the newly captured provinces. This is going to be bad for us. Okay, so what have we got naval-wise? One group of slingers, one Lucian warriors. Some SAMNITE armored spearmen, Lucian warriors. What are we up against? Hill tribes, militia spearmen, hoplites, horses. Lots of slingers. That's going to be really bad for our boots. I don't think we're going to be able to pull this one back. I think we'll have a bit of a hard time of it. We'll give it a good shot. We can try and get our troops up to the boats as they land, but it's those slingers, all these slingers, and the AI is just so effective with their slingers. I'm not quite sure what it is, but for some reason when the AI engages boat to boat, their slingers can continue to shoot even when engaged in melee. So of course it just means they're just doing insane amounts of damage output continuously at point blank range, and it makes it very hard to actually board the slinger boats. So let's see how we're going to do this. Greek slingers over there, and there's some slingers there. Okay, so I'm going to put my raiders, my Lucian warriors over here. What is their most effective light spears, militia spearmen? They're just very like melee infantry, those natives. I'm not too worried about them. Let me try and get the boat facing vaguely the right way. These guys, I'm going to be more inclined to stick off at the edge to bombard some of these enemy slingers, I think. Stick yourselves like that. Then let's have a look at the garrison. Where are we going to try and get range superiority? Are they slingers there as well? They are. I think we'll go all our slingers on the shoreline here. Then we're going to reinforce these guys with some of the SAMNITEs. Because what have we got here? Anything particularly tough for us to deal with? Light infantry, light infantry, light infantry. Light infantry and light infantry. Okay, so I'm looking like, because this flank's relatively poorly in terms of its aggression, I'm going to put my SAMNITE light infantrymen and my SAMNITE spearmen down here as my main defensive force. I'll probably put these guys into guard mode as well, so they don't run all over the place. Then we've got 2 lots of javelins. Where's there going to be the most heavy infantry? Not really got anyone heavy, have they? But the bulk of the infantry are probably going to come down on this flank. Where are they going to land? Probably down along here, so we'll put our javelins along here. I'll also no, I won't guard mode them actually. I'll skirmish mode them because they could get themselves into trouble. Then these guys, I'll probably put 1 armoured spearman here to deal with this lot in front of me, and I'm going to split these 2 here. Maybe I'm not sure if it's such a good idea to split myself so much. You know, I could conceivably just try and concentrate like all my forces in one area and deal with it that way. But I don't know. We shall see. Okay, let's start the battle.
The radar map allows an aerial view of the battle, detailing the position of your units or ships and those enemies that are visible,
out of range.
and also topography to assist in planning an attack.
Shut up. Let's have a look here. My spearmen, my slingers, what's the range on them? Oh, not that long at all. We've got quite a way before they get close. So I'm just going to try and get my Lucian warriors engaged straight away. We're going to start getting bombarded by the enemy slingers probably really early on. You see seeing how effective these are already.
Our general is under attack.
But I just want to get into combat straight away. Let's try and butcher some of these spearmen. Anything we can kill early on is, you know, is just a bonus, isn't it? The more we can kill these slingers. I might have a bit of a hard time of it, even against these light spearmen by the looks of it, because there's so many of them. There's 120 of them. They can jump quite a long way, can't they? Taking some casualties from those slingers. Let's see how our troops get on in hand-to-hand versus these militia speed. Okay, so everyone else is coming in now. Hard actually. Oh, they brought in land forces as well. Ugh, it's not so good. I don't know how they got ashore. They're not bombarding my slingers already, are they? No. They're holding back by the looks of it. So there's going to be a bit of an engagement here. Move you up so you can start to apply pressure straight away. Quite a lot of stuff coming in there. How's our fight going here? Badly by the looks of it. Oh no, we actually killed quite a lot of them. We might end up winning. Okay, we're going to come into range of our slingers over here soon, which is what we want. Have our slingers moved up to open fire? Let's just go and shoot them. Give you an order, at least do something. Okay, so the javelins should soon be able to open fire. Let's turn off Skirgon's Road. Let's try and start to get some casualties in if we can. I think that volley will be somewhat effective. Where are our spearmen? Move down there. I want to engage these guys as soon as they land. Are we going to win this? 36 to 17. Pretty much neck and neck.
The men are wavering.
I can't exactly blame them for that. So I want these guys to literally engage the second they are an attackable unit. Come on. I'm going to get engaged over here. Let's go into slow-mo mode so we can deal with this in more speed. You deal with them. You come up here if you can. Okay, let's go back into normal mode. This is ridiculously slow. Why can't I not attack you yet? Move you back.
We await your command.
There we go. So we want to kill these light spearmen as quickly as we can because you know they have no advantage in any other sense. So let's try and focus on them. Get some of these things down. Okay, so presumably our slingers are just keeping up the fire, and these guys here are just going to have to be the defence force against these sort of light infantry.
Flee the field of battle.
I'm hoping that is what is left. Well, they're routing as well. What of our militia warriors on the warcraft rather than the actual enemy units. It looks like we're getting some of these to route there, which is exactly what we want. Make sure they're probably going to be going first because we want them to be completely dead before we do anything else. How goes this flank? Oh, some enemy Greek slingers got engaged straight away in the combat. Let's push these guys around. Start to pressure that. Hopefully our slingers here are keeping up some damage. Oh no, they're going to get themselves in trouble now. There's going to be no easy way around that. Our armoured spearmen have done a fantastic job there. It's exactly what I wanted. Okay, things are looking good. I am so far impressed. Presumably they died. They did indeed.
Our men flee the field
enemy
of
slingers
battle.
actually take any casualties? No, it looks like not. So we're killing these hoplites pretty nicely. Good. Move you guys up. We've got these enemy cavalry we're going to have to deal with now, which is going to be tough. Because these guys are pretty good. They're going to start to affect our units quite quickly. And we've got all these enemy tribesmen and more reinforcements on the way. So I want to move these armoured spearmen up to deal with... No, I don't. I want to get these slingers. Change your mind. We'll deal with those enemy cavalry later. Let's just try and get on shore, get in amongst these slingers before they can run away.
Ready for orders. Orders.
Get their slingers, get the slingers, get the slingers. Move this way.
One of our
You go that
units
way.
has used all its ammunition.
You go that way.
Your orders.
You lot go that way. You, if you haven't engaged these slingers already, do that. And we're killing the enemy range really early on. You know, we're going to lose these. These are dead men. I can accept that. We're actually doing a good job of killing off a good chunk of the enemy. But if we kill this range, I've got no cavalry to chase down enemy range, so I don't want to be chasing them all over the map. I'd rather just slaughter them now. And particularly as they just land, they can't really do anything. That's just really easy for me to cut them down. These Lucian warriors are just super effective against this sort of thing. And yeah, our guys there doing a good job as well.
Italian swordsmen.
Okay, let's reform up our javelins. They routing there, yes they are.
Our men flee the field of
So,
battle. This is a shameful display.
let's just form ourselves back up. What's going on? Oh, these guys are landing here, are they? Okay. Or they're going around the coast. You're going to go round, that's fine. I shall time my things accordingly. So let's move these guys around. I've still got all my skirmishers still alive. Although they look like they're out of ammunition, to be honest, so that's not going to work super well for us. These guys are obviously a bit caught on the coast, not quite sure what they want to do. Did an impressive job actually. Caused quite a lot of casualties on that enemy heavy cavalry just for some units of SAMNITE light infantry. Good job. I thought you were just going to rout straight away. Move our infantry round.
The enemy general is dead.
Oh, nice. The enemy general's dead. Good job.
We await your command.
Let's start to pressure some of these guys.
Your orders.
It looks like they've had to all rout, to be honest. Cut off those horses. Oh wow, the entire enemy army just routed in front of us. Nice. Okay, I will take that. Cool. Well, we've driven that enemy army back into the sea. That went far better than I thought it was going to. I'm very pleased with that. I really thought we were going to lose that city there. That was nice. That went down very well. Those Lucian warriors are just such a nice infantry unit. They just do so much damage. Such a fan of medium infantry. So we butchered a good chunk of the enemy army there. Killed them and driven them back. They should be a... oh dear. Now this is a threat to us. Because these are the people at Elia. So we've got a slightly larger garrison fleet. But then not anything real extra in terms of defences. Okay. We've got a slightly larger naval fleet. Lots of horses. These hoplites are really bad. Sill tribes. These guys aren't too bad. These are just the peasants. Light hoplites, not a problem. Lots of range. So, who knows? Maybe. But it doesn't look good, does it? But then, I said that last time, actually, it turned out to not be so bad. I knew this was a risk when I went to war with Syracuse, that they have such a large fleet of their army sort of sailing up and down the coast, so I knew I was going to be attracting attention since I started causing this sort of amount of trouble. So it was always going to be a risk for me. Oh, yeah, and they've got a land army. All their cavalry. Obviously, the game can't function cavalry in the navy. I guess that's the problem. Okay, so what are we going to do? I'm thinking the armoured spearmen. I might try and somehow get these guys to be the bait for these cavalry to engage. Just stick you something like that, maybe. Or maybe you should come closer. No, I'm just going to stick you like that.
Shield wall!
Let's set you a... oops. And then hopefully the enemy cavalry will just engage you. And then that's going to be real beneficial. Presumably the shield wall gives quite a nice benefit. Armour strengthening, bracing, melee defense, and shield strength increase. Okay, that's quite a series of boosts actually for that, and you only just get limited speed, so that's good. That's definitely worth having on. So they're going to try and be the draw for this enemy cavalry. Obviously, if it does engage these spears, they should be able to do pretty well unless they get completely flanked to death, which they might, but hopefully not. So these cavalry are going to be absolutely critical because the enemy's got a ton of range. So I'm going to keep these guys sort of at the back as my sort of roving strike force. So we have 2 units of slingers. We've got quite a lot of enemy ranged on these flanks, so I'm probably going to put these slingers in a defensible position somewhere along this coast there. Probably going to defend these just with the light infantry, and that covers sort of part of the coast because they're going to land basically across this frontage, I'm suspecting. So what else have we got? We have got 1 unit of light spearmen, 1 unit of Lucian warriors, and some javelins. Doesn't give me a lot. And this is the edge of my deployment zone here, so I'm going to go on the other side here, double up my javelins. Obviously the javelins have got to stay with protection, otherwise they'll just, they're not particularly good at hand-to-hand. And then the horsemen are going to have to be sort of the light roaming force. Naval-wise, we have got 2 Lucian warriors and 2 units of slingers. Now, as we know, the slingers are utterly hopeless. It's whether I'm going to be able to engage any of these and stand a chance of winning, which is what I'm not sure. When we can try, and get 2 of them. I might just start a little bit further back. And we'll keep these slingers here on the coast just to try and apply some pressure, but as you saw before, it just doesn't really work properly.
The review
just a little bit buggy,
contains the unit or ship cards
sure
representing your force.
Cavalry
Clicking on a card selects a unit or ship.
Hopefully these guys are just going to pressure my spearmen. That will be probably the defining part of this, if they do that or if they go for my ranged units, etc. Depends how bad the AI is. If the AI is bad, we can win this. If they're not, then my skills are going to be not quite up to the scratch, I don't think.
So then,
So these guys are all coming forward slowly. I just kind of want to see what they're going to do. Cavalry is doing what they're coming up hard. There's quite a lot of range though, which is worrying. So I'm guessing they're going to throw stuff at me. Yeah, not as ideal as I'd have liked. Hopefully they don't have that much ammunition. I'm just going to weather it basically. We're in shield wall. Hopefully we don't take too many casualties. If they're going to wait there, that's fine. I'll deal with that. Okay, let's hop into a bit of a fast forward. Yeah, we're only taking 1 or 2. Hopefully not too bad. We're going to come into range of these enemy slingers soon. I think we'll perhaps...
Support ships at your command.
I'm going to go like this, because maybe once these guys start to engage each other, I'll have a fair chance of getting my Lucian warriors up without getting fully targeted by the enemy slingers. If that makes sense, because these slingers are going to duke it out, and then my Lucian warriors are going to sneak up and ambush and try and take out these ranged units while they're still at sea. So you'll see how quickly badly this goes. You're like, my slingers 10 dead already. They've taken none. It just doesn't. They're just invincible at sea. It's just a bug. You can see I can hit them fully. It just doesn't do any damage. Oh, we killed 1, but my whole unit is pretty much dead.
The men are wavering.
Yeah. Look how quickly we go down. And we just can't kill any of them. I don't understand why it's like that. It just seems to be the way. See if our Lucian warriors get on any better. Have our spearmen yet been engaged? No, they have by the looks of things. Oh no, they've been completely flanked. Let's come out of shield wall mode. Maybe it'll be more effective. Wow, they've just been decimated. That is not how I wanted at all. I thought my spearmen were going to do really well here. It seems not.
Attack their position!
You know, you should be attacking. Why? Come on, guys.
Spears ready!
Ah, that's depressing. I think this is going to go badly because they're just taking too many casualties. We're going down too quickly.
Assault ships ready for attack.
Finally causing some casualties. We're not really getting our people there abroad though. Where's our horses gone? So it looks like these people are all pushing down the coast. So let's move the whole block down. Move you up here. What are we getting landing here? Oh, they're the heavy hoplites. Oh dear, this is going badly. Move you around. Have our people completely gone? They're about to, aren't they? They did a good job, to be fair. They just got really overwhelmed far quicker than I thought they would. So much heavy cavalry.
Our general
Just
is
one
under
of these
attack.
situations where there's nothing we can do about this.
Assault ships ready for orders.
Hopefully our people are going to be able to kill some of these slingers. At least gauge them in hand-to-hand combat. Right, you push around on the flank. Come on, move up. You move up there. Try and start to engage some of these ranged stuff. Cut these down. I'm not worried about that, but it's just not going to be. It's going to be too little, too late, unfortunately. Because I've attacked the wrong units as well. I should have gone for the heavy hoplites straight away.
Double time! Engage!
Okay, what's going on here? Move our people around.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units.
Too much. So much micromanagement going on.
Missiles awaiting targets!
Pull these the javelins back a little bit.
Melee troops!
Look at all those heavy guys there coming in, and all their cavalry is now free to roam around. Oh god, even our pretty people here have been caught by the heavy spearmen.
Javelin men! Fire!
Okay, what can we break off here?
Italian swordsmen!
Let's bring some Lucian warriors off here. Try and at least flank these
Quick
guys.
march! Advance at speed! Double
Just going to
time!
try and kill as much as we can. I accept this is definitely a defeat now.
Double. Advance at speed! Quick march! Commander! Now! Ready!
Try and get some of these guys just causing their casualties now. I'll start focusing down those enemy archers there. Get some javelins in. Come on, guys. Oh dear, there goes our cavalry. See how we're getting on fighting these enemy hoplites. Oh, and even silver experience! Oh no! Oh, it's a nightmare. What a nightmare. Oh, here comes all the enemy heavy cavalry now. Yeah. That's not going to go particularly well for us. Our little light melee infantry having a good job at it, but you know, they aren't a match for heavy units like that. We're trying to cut down some of these enemy hoplites we've got in this little bit of a sandwich, which isn't going so badly. But we are now rear flanked. Our SAMNITE light infantry are not a fan of that. Look like they're going to rout, including our light spearmen as well. Yeah, there we go. Well, it was a bit too much to ask, I think, to hold that one. Still the enemy heavy cavalry. If the enemy cavalry were on ships, it might have been more viable. Oh, we've still got our people on boats. I forgot about them. Oops. Oh well. Just leave it in fast forward, get these people on shore. They might not even fight, so they might just rout straight away. Were we able to kill those guys? Oh, nice job. At least we killed one unit of hoplites. Try and just cause any trouble that we can, although we're going to get capped out in a minute, and that's going to be the end of our base, which will be the end of the game. So we'll run over this way, see if we can chase down some of this range stuff. Because obviously anything we can kill now means we're not going to have to kill, because we're going to have to counterattack at Elia, you see, which is going to be a major thing. I think at least, if I'm correct, I'm hoping that Elia... Wow. Elia, please don't be part of Campania. I don't think it is, because if it's part of Campania, we're going to then lose the edict, which is going to cost us the -10 political loyalty, which is going to be really painful for us. As you saw, because obviously that 10 political loyalty is keeping, you know, the followers of Jupiter as a loyal party. We didn't inflict that many losses on them. This is going to be tough now. We've got an enemy army in our territory. I've got no armies nearby. And I've got two massive tribal armies in the middle of my lands as well, which we've got to deal with. We may end up having another battle yet. Yeah. Things are bad. Things are bad. Oh dear. Okay. So we've made it through a turn. Lucania Tribute Collection. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully that's not my region. No, it's not. Okay, nothing to do with me. Migrating tribes are not my problem. Okay, garrison fleet destroyed. We know, fine. Construction report, lots of things have been built. Settlement lost at Elia. We know. Province contested. Okay. So, let's have a look where we are. Elia. Thank God it was part of Lucania, not Campania, because that would have been really bad. So we know there's an enemy army down there. Where is our nearest army? Well, probably down here then, isn't it? Particularly given the sort of current tribal situation that's going on up here. I think the reserve army is going to have to hot-foot it up the country to get to there ASAP. Yeah, they can actually make pretty good progress. And he's a relatively experienced general. So that's what we're going to have to try and do. It's whether they're going to march out of Elia in one turn and try and go anywhere. I don't think they can. Maybe make it to Potentia, but I think that's a slightly different kettle of fish. It's a much more armoured city. It's got walls. They'd have a hard time with that. And I don't think they can make it to Posidonia in one turn. It doesn't look like they can. So that's not so bad. These guys are bad because I don't quite know how we're going to deal with these lot. There's a lot of them, and they outnumber us. But we do actually have this other army here, so maybe this is actually the answer. So we've got our main army here, so I'm going to try and double up on this tag team, this one here. We'll probably be fine, we can probably also resolve that. Oh, they're actually pulling back.
We hunger for battle. Make haste, men.
Let's just make sure these people are close enough, because I want them to obviously be engaged in the combat. Cool. That went well. Nice, nice, nice. I'm just trying to use overwhelming force to kill these people off.
Advance.
Kill you.
Commander.
Nice.
Ready for orders. Make haste, men. Commander.
We'll keep these two here for now. You come out of force march. Actually, how close? Much distance have they got left?
Ready for battle.
Should we just do it? We can probably do them both, actually, can't we?
Advance.
And if I bring you up, I might retreat. No. Cool. And That is them dealt with. Nice. That went really well. So you saw what I did there. Hopefully, I was obviously just trying to combine my forces together to get the sort of easy advantage. Just to outnumber them. And that is them done, dead, and dealt with. Nice. Okay, that frees up a lot more people than I thought it was going to. Next, I want to look at. So my dignitary I had down here, has it actually had any effect on loyalty? It kind of looks like yes. Provincial initiatives is now 17. I don't quite get why it's 17 when. Oops, not the right button. How do I get into his here? That's 5 is supposed to be, but anyway, I'm not complaining. So he seems to have affected the loyalty of that party. That is really good because that's a massive boost. So that means they now have 10 loyalty. Obviously, they've got a little bit as well from the expansionist probably perk, and that's looking pretty good. So I'm happy with that. Our armies have dealt with all the problems in front of them. So next turn we can continue on pushing back north. Maybe either go back to war with Rome, go for Rome itself, to be honest, or whatever. So back down in the south. Obviously we defeated this army here, so that's not so much of a problem for us. Because they attacked to this one here, didn't they? I might get technology as well, what's that? Ah, booty from battles. So all these places are upgrading by the looks of it. How is... oh dear, the provincial unhappiness is high, isn't it? This army is not looking too bad. And who's this guy? This might be... oh, he's my noble, but he's actually a SAMNITE noble, which is good. So we want him to be winning battles. So let's get him down to Lockery. Nice. Cool. Occupy. So we're just driving these guys back, pushing them back towards Region down in the south. Because I want to capture this whole sort of province. Start to convert these towns. Yeah, something like that. Cool. This army obviously definitely needs a bit more time to recover, and of course with the provincial instability we're getting per turn, we're going to have a riot on our hands very soon, because that's not exactly what we want. So yeah, and there's no garrison in places like this, so it's kind of reliant on a Syracusan army not turning up, otherwise there'll be trouble. Okay, so it started very badly, but things have recovered pretty quickly there, so I'm not too displeased with that. Leading me in these armies also sort of freed up a bit more in terms of not being raided, which is obviously always helpful. What have we got we can upgrade building-wise? Is there anything we've got which you can particularly upgrade which is going to be helpful in terms of our turn income? Immediately, it doesn't look like, does it? The remains of those people still slowly rotting away. Mostly just shrines of Curies to be upgraded, to be honest. We've got all these buildings here which do give a bit more wealth. So maybe we can start to build some of them. And then let's just go straight into the next turn if we haven't. No, we can do an edict. No, we're going to do that anyway because the edict's going to go back in Elia once we capture it. So it looks like their army did march on Potentia pretty much straight away, which is interesting. So I think we've got two options. We can try and rush our army to Potentia to try and defend it.
Your armies would surely find honour and plunder in joining this war.
I'm not going to go to war with the Etruscan League for 600 gold. At some point they're going to have to die as well. But for now they're fine because they're just an ally and they're enveloped in the middle of my territory, so not a massive problem. So they've actually besieged Potentia. Oh, we completed the technology. But they are actually taking attrition already. Now, we know they got some damage in the fighting. Their units aren't fully recovered, and they're not going to be recovering now because we're in enemy territory. Potentia itself has actually taken quite a few losses, I'm surprised.
For death and honor!
How much holder can we hold out? I wonder why we've taken so many casualties already. That's not so good. So, what are we going to do? I'm not going to be able to reach Elia, I'm assuming, in a normal turn. No. Inconvenient, isn't it? Let's go like here. I can't really do either in one turn. Where is my other armies here? I'm going to send down probably you. It's probably unnecessary because by the time actually these guys are ready, the whole thing will have boiled over. But if you're going to be coming down roughly this way, It takes quite a few turns, isn't it? Not ideal, but what can you do? Okay, so these guys have either got to attack potentially next turn and face the walls, which may go well for them. Attack potentially, that'll be a real blow that will hopefully potentially can hold. Let's go back to the technologies we were looking at. We're going for a specific one, I think, maybe. Although, turn from items and subjects acquired through warfare. Mention for cruiser or ships. Naval training is obviously going to be the next one to go for. Or actually, we can just go for this. It's acquired through warfare. I don't really know what that means. Maybe that just means subjugated nations. Cult of Hercules, 15 for generals get a lot better. It's not so bad. What's we unlock their replenishment rate? Or we can continue going down like the police path and get more. No, that's not a lot of use to us, is it? We'll just follow the path naturally. Okay, let's have a look up here. So these two armies can probably sort of come back to a more frontier position. To be looking to threaten the Romans a bit more. Upgrading we can do over here, isn't it? Well, that used the one we need, just upgrading Antinium. But that's quite a major city, so that's worthwhile doing. Further down south, down here, is this army sort of thinking about getting ready to moving back out? Possibly is. What's the situation here like? No, not particularly happy, are they? No, we'll perhaps hang on. The provincial instability still -14. Cultural differences are quite large. Still no garrisons ready or anything yet, so no, I think we'll hang on a couple more turns, I think, before we do anything there. Everywhere else we're looking okay. It's just this that's going to be a big threat to us. So really not a lot we can do. Still no edicts. Let's see how this pans out. Oh, they've landed the what remains of their fleet over there near Consentia.
Can you not find
10 more?
No.
Still no. I don't want to go to war with the Etruscan team, not at the moment. In time, maybe, but no. Okay, so Syracuse didn't make a play on Potentia, which was interesting and almost certainly an error on their part. They put their force aground here. There's obviously not a lot left. That's not a massive threat to us, to be honest. So these guys are going to go into normal stance and just rear flank you, basically. We can easily win that. I sort of have to have a strict policy on which battles I fight and don't. But if there's a really easy auto-resolve, you can't fight. If we fight every battle, then it will just take forever to complete. There's no point doing that. Cool. So the Potentia is relieved. They took a lot of casualties just in terms of being besieged. Ready for orders. Let's move this army back down and start to threaten Elia. No, we really don't need this second army to come back down, do we, to be honest? I knew that would be the case. So let's start to send you back up to the north again. You guys are going to head over to there. And you are going to head back over this way. Back to the frontier cities, just to be facing off against the Etruscan League from when the inevitable war ends up happening. And we're all okay there, at least for now. And what we're going to build here, we're just my Shrine to Ceres, as usual. Could consider upgrading that, because it's not particularly a well-fortified town. And then these two are going to face off up here, and then we can start to pressure the Romans again if we want to as well. Because the Romans really aren't in a very strong place, I don't think. And I don't think it's going to be that hard for us to deal with. Is there anything, though, that needs more upgrading, though? Yes, lots. Yep, like that. Oh, that's our money for this turn. We soon run out again. Down here, obviously, as we said, we're just going to be hanging on, at least for the time being. Although lots of the buildings are now getting repaired, so we're starting to get garrisons appearing in all these places. At least something. That one in the next turn. But there's still going to be a rebellion. I'll perhaps wait till that happens and then just crush it. So, on to the next turn. Next turn, we should take Elia back into SAMNITE control, which is obviously what we want to be doing. Our allies roaming around. Does make me a little bit nervous, but they've been allies with us for so long now.
I offer peace as I would throw a rope to a drowning man.
Yep, okay. not making peace with Syracuse because I still want to drive them out the toe of Italy before I actually do that. But these guys I don't particularly want to be at war with because I'm not in really a position to take any of their territory yet, and I don't want to get completely embroiled in a conflict in Sicily quite yet, although in time we will. So yes, let's get back to Elia. It should have no garrison. Pretty much not. Okay. We don't want to root my own city. We did unfortunately obviously have given the follower of Jupiter, or unless he's a follower of Diane, quite a lot of influence in there. Still, it is what it is. So we're not going to worry about that too much. Nice. So we didn't really lose too much. They just converted one building. That's not a problem for us. We'll get a bit of conquest instability for this turn, but once we go back into next turn, that will drop straight back down. Can't believe we get a whole massive provincial instability of -15 just because we lost it for a couple of turns. Kind of annoying. Right, you. You. Come up to Antinium. And our main army here up here. I assume we don't have much better recruit. Oh, we can't recruit anyway, even if we wanted to. Although now we actually have a proper barracks there, maybe we can recruit properly here. I'd like to get rid of some of these sort of more inferior units. The Horseshoe Warriors are okay, the Italian Cavalry is okay. Some of these light infantry, you know, pretty useless to be honest. Let's just drop a U. I know he's a really high rank, but I think we can now start to get better units here. We can. Cool. So we can have armoured spearmen. I don't want any of them. So we can have armoured spearmen or Lucian warriors. We'll have a unit of armoured spearmen. I'm going to start to improve this army now. It's just been too inferior for too long. Needs a proper bit of upgrading. Let's do that. It's worth spending a bit of money on. Cool. At least it's going to start to get a little bit better now. But over here we're all looking okay. We've pretty much spent our money. Our army is back here in Teat to protect it, because that's obviously our main garrison force against the inevitable war with the Etruscan League. I think I might end up going to war with the Romans pretty soon. Once the rebellion breaks out on here, we can deal with that. So let's put the edict back here. 10% tax rate, and next turn. Cool. That didn't go too badly. I think things are back under control, and we are starting to look up. We should be starting to conquest ourselves a little bit more very soon. It was just a bit of turn of consolidation, really, this episode.
Your people are wounded by this war.
Now
is the chance to end the struggle.
For 100, I shall give you peace. I don't want to be at war with you. Rebellion imminent. Okay, good. Be next turn, will it? Yeah. That's fine. Obviously, we know there's a rebellion coming. I want that because I just want to deal with the rebellion. Yeah, obviously this wants to become a proper salty city. Faction destroyed. Oh, those boats have finally weathered away to nothing. Yeah, as we know, our quartermasters, peace negotiated. Nothing interesting there. Population surplus in Calabria. Can build a new building, but God knows what. We're craftsmen just for the money. And we completed a sacred enclosure. Cool. You need to drop out of force march. So we've got them there, we've got you there. You there, I'm happy with that. And then down here, obviously, we're all still ferreting ourselves around. Now Elia is back in pretty much stability. I'm assuming the army isn't providing that much. No. So I think I'm just going to move you straight back off again. Deal with these guys down here. And eventually can come back down to sort of reinforce these provinces and get the offensive back on the move again. Cool. I think we will probably end today's episode there. Hopefully it's been enjoyable. I'm trying to make these a little bit more tactical, or at least explain some of my sort of thought processes a little bit more than I was before. If it's interesting, let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think I should do? I think war with the Romans is what I'm thinking next, since I don't think they've got that much to them. And I kind of want to capture Rome because I believe it's a 2-siege city to actually do it. So I think that should be quite a good fun. So yes, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for lots more Total War content, and I shall see you all on the next episode.